So the story, my workout story, my fitness story. When I was in college, I was at Cal State Long Beach, and at one point I volunteered to translate for the Long Beach Marathon. I spoke enough Japanese that I could do it. So the translation was interesting and fun, and it was all of that. At the dinner before the event, at the dinner before the marathon, they have this spaghetti dinner, a carbo load dinner, and so me and another guy were switching off with the one Japanese runner that was there to run this event, and so I was sitting at a table with a bunch of guys that really looked pretty old, and I thought they were sponsors or something like that. So I'm sitting at this table, and I kind of asked them, I said, so, how are you all involved in the race? And they said, oh, we're all running it. And I said, really? They said, yeah, we're all participants. We're all going to run it. I said, okay. And one of them kind of smiled wryly at me, and, he said, yeah, you caught off guard. You kind of thought we're a little old for that, huh? I said, yeah, to be honest with you, sir, I did. And he chuckled and he said, well, all 5 of us are over 80. And that was surprising. This was a bunch of guys over 80 running the full, 26 point whatever it is marathon. So the same guy says, well, you need to hear that guy's story. We're going to call him Carl. I don't remember his name. You need to hear Carl's story. And, Carl kind of looks really interested in his food, but he looks up and he tells me his story. At 50 years old, he was getting his checkup, and the doctor told him that if he didn't change his lifestyle, if he didn't make some major changes in his life, he was going to be dead before he was 55. And at that appointment, when the doctor told him that, Carl asked the doctor, he said, what can I do? And the doctor said, well, you need to lose a lot of weight, and you need to start getting some exercise. And Carl said, well, how much exercise? Can I run? And the doctor said, no, you can't run, but you can walk. But don't walk, stop when you get tired. Don't overdo it. So Carl said, okay. So he started walking, and he walked, and then he did some other things, and at 55, he ran his first marathon, and he said he didn't do very well, but he finished. He walked a lot, and he ran a marathon every year. Sometimes he ran 2 and 3 marathons a year, but he ran a marathon every year from the time he was 55 until when I met him when he was 83 years old, and he was running the marathon for his 83rd year. And he was a fit guy. I mean, he was a runner, so he looked like a runner. He was, but he was fit, and he could get up and walk around and move, and when I sat down at the table, I could tell they were old, but I didn't, I don't know that I would have guessed that any of them was 80 years old, and definitely not Carl. I never would have guessed that Carl was 80 years old. I saw him the next day at the race. I know he finished. I know he finished in the upper end of the 80-year-old crowd, but I don't remember his time. But that always stuck with me, and was part of the inspiration of staying fit and what it can mean to life. So it's important. Stay fit, and you're never too late to start.